Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we do have all the episodes there. You can see that this isn't the normal Mexican sitting next to me. This is the sub-Mexican, my co-host, fiance, and future baby daddy, Franny.
Hey.
Hey, Franny, thanks for popping by today.
Of course, I'm always happy to...
Oh, I know you are. You're angling for JC's job.
Yes.
No, we actually gave JC the boot today. No, I really do appreciate it. We were going to figure it out, but I thought, I was telling Garrett, who produces the show, he's sitting here. I was like, dude, I can't do this alone. Like, no one wants to hear me talk alone. I mean, I think if you have the podcast, I listen to podcasts where people talk alone, but usually in that scenario, they're telling a story, right? Like they're doing a full crime presentation and they're just like reading facts and it's like almost all written out. Like I can't sit here and shoot the shit alone.
Monologue.
A fabulous monologue.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it mostly to you every night because you just don't talk back. So I'm sure I unintentionally do monologues all the time.
No, babe. I think it's very entertaining just to see you because you get very animated and you explain things very well. So
I've been worried and I wanted to talk to you about it. Do you feel like, now that I'm pregnant, it kind of becomes, I mean, that's something that you and I talk about all the time because I don't want to lose elements of the relationship. And I'm sure it only gets worse when you have a baby because all you do is talk about the fucking baby all the time. It's like, I want to talk about like work and life, but are we even going to have a life to talk about? You know what I mean? Like lately it's been so much, it was IVF. And I mean, I think we have conversations about, we shoot the shit, right? About other stuff.
No, I think we are constant. We're very balanced in the way that we communicate.
For now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to even change that. I think life is about to change dramatically. And I don't think we even know how dramatically. But I really don't think we're going to...
Did you get anxiety just now?
Just got a little micro anxiety attack. But I think we're going to be very well balanced in what we communicate because we have so much going on. Like, even though we will have a baby and that will be for sure our focus, we still have a lot of things going on.
I'm just going to take your sunglasses off. Stay a minute, would you? It's like last time you came, you had like a motorcycle helmet on. I was like, do you want to stay for a second and talk?
I didn't have it on.
Well, you weren't wearing your sunglasses, but they were on your shirt. Yeah, you look nice today. I'm trying to figure out my maternity style.
Which one do you think it is?
I think I need to wear more form-fitting clothes. Like today. I mean, this dress I didn't buy. I bought this dress so long ago and it's cut out on the sides, but it's like kind of tight on my stomach. And I thought, I think that's the look I'm going to go for because I put on kind of a flowy situation.
Oh, baby, if I were
today.
to be you, like, I'll be wearing like muumuus, like kaftans.
That's so... Stop. No, you wouldn't. That would be your maternity style?
Yeah, just let it all fly out inside. Like, I will end up like wearing like a circus tent, like just like...
With nothing underneath?
With nothing underneath.
But do you know what that looks like in a photograph?
Yeah, like comfortable. It looks like, comfortable.
Like a cow. Like you just look huge.
No, you just look deceivingly... Could be huge, could be small. Nobody knows. You just leave stuff.
You know what? This is going to be an experiment. I have this like form-fitting, stretchy, comfy dress on today that's still kind of like sexy.
Babe, you always look very sexy.
But I am going to buy a muumuu for the first time in my life. I'm going to buy a muumuu and I'm going to see what he really thinks about me in a muumuu. We're going to see if that's the look that you'd go for.
It's not going to stop my attraction towards you.
Yes, it is. I feel so unsexy as it is.
Babe, I feel that you just gaining sexiness.
Gaining sexiness in one area.
No, in all areas.
I appreciate that.
Babe, I think you look so hot.
You have like a pregnant woman fetish?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Have you ever hooked up with a pregnant woman?
Not yet. Well, yes.
Not yet?
Technically, I have.
Me? I mean, other than me?
No.
You never like had like that thing that you were like, I'm into pregnant women.
I find pregnant women to be, with all due respect.
He knows it's such like a lose-lose answer. No, I wouldn't be mad. I asked you the question. I mean.
But I really think that there's some pregnant women that look amazing.
Like so you find glowing. It like a sexy look. I'm glad. I love that. I'm glad. That's nice. He always at night, he like wants to talk to the baby down here, so he like puts his face down here. I'm like,
Slippery slope.
Why?
I'm just like you're right there. Might as
Oh,
well.
no. I was like, he can't, like, that baby's not hearing you yet,
He can feel you. I'm pretty sure he can feel. He can like just understand. We don't even know a fraction of what's going on. Like we know that it's forming like fingers and brain and shit, but we don't know exactly what he's feeling.
You're right. No, I'm happy that you do that because I don't talk to him enough. I think I'll play music and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's so...
Babe, talk to him more.
Can I be honest? Like, I still don't feel pregnant. Like, other than the days I feel like absolute garbage, I still don't feel it. And maybe it's because truthfully, I just feel like a kind of fat and hungry and lazy. I don't feel it yet, so I don't know. And I'm sure other women can relate or write me if you feel that way. But I just, this morning I was thinking, and I go, this is so strange and women must feel this way. I don't even feel like it's real yet. I mean, when we go to the doctor and hear the heartbeat, that's so cool. And so like, I know there's some alien being growing inside of here right now, which is so freaky, but I don't actually feel like it's real yet. Does that make sense?
Of course. No, I think it's not going to feel real. For you, I'm pretty sure it's going to feel way more real when it starts kicking and you can start feeling it.
Bet. And you see like this creepy hand
But
move.
I don't think nothing is going to give it that sense of reality until we have to be up all day, all night.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. It'll be real then.
That's fucking real.
You know, I get a lot of questions and I haven't addressed it on the show with JC from y'all. I'm going to go through kind of all over the place. Y'all send so many great emails, like so many questions asking about a whole variety of things. But lately, of course, I've been getting a lot of questions about getting pregnant in general, because I think a lot of you didn't know that I actually did another round of IVF to get pregnant, because I see this on my social media. A lot of you have been asking, did you just happen to get pregnant naturally after the first round failed? And no, not at all. We immediately went into a slight depression and another round of IVF immediately, right? So in another round immediately, unfortunately, gosh, time just drug on this year. Like I feel like I've been doing this since January, because the whole process, even when you're ready to go, takes about 6 weeks. Like they gotta get you going and on shots and kind of start regulating your cycle. And so,
well, I feel that we only got 2020 as a pause, because you started this in 2019 in January, February.
Yeah, I froze my eggs right when you and I first started dating, because I had an opportunity to do that. That's right. So that's what worked for me this time. But a lot of you have asked me about acupuncture and other things that I've done. So I thought I'd just quickly tell you, before this, I didn't buy into a lot of that, to be quite honest. You know, I'm not someone that's really into herbs and remedies and supplements and thinks, you know, does all these quirky things. But after this first transfer failed and it was the healthiest embryo and I thought I did everything right, and I know they say it just happens, that it just doesn't work out, I was feeling pretty down about it. And I also felt kind of desperate, like, well, if I'm going to do this again, I need to do things differently. You know, I want to see what I can control and do things differently. So the few things that I did that I actually now in hindsight really believe might have worked, I stopped working out completely. I didn't exercise at all other than the occasional walk. And this came from this acupuncturist that I started seeing. I didn't do acupuncture the first time. A lot of people recommended through IVF. It has a lot to do with blood flow to your uterus. And so I did acupuncture. And I mean, gosh, I have to say, like at the time, I didn't really feel anything. I mean, you're just getting poked with needles. But hey, something about that must have worked. She told me to not exercise, because the whole focus when you're trying to get pregnant is that you want all the blood flow in your body going to your stomach and your uterus, right? So you don't want to do anything that causes your blood flow to go other places, which would be things like, if you get really stressed out all the time. So to try and keep yourself calm, because then your blood's like rushing up to your head, you know, because it's kind of that, fight or flight mentality. You want to avoid that. If you're exercising a lot, your blood's going to your muscles for recovery. So you don't want to exert yourself. And then she told me, I thought she was going to say like a lot of green tea and lemon water. She was like, no, this is at least for IVF, you know, let the medicine do its job and try to eat warm, hearty food. So this could be things like French fries. This could be things like soups and stews. Because she said when you actually eat healthier, like salads and smoothies and things like that are cold and kind of more diet food, as we would consider them, that those are harder to digest. So your body takes more energy to digest. That's really why they're diet food, right? Because when you're losing weight, you want food like that. But when you're trying to get pregnant, you want simple food that can just kind of go through your body, that your body doesn't have to work hard to digest. So I did all of those things, which are very, in hindsight, like, so I didn't work out. I slept more. I tried to work a little less and not be stressed. And I ate soup.
She really suffered.
And I did
throughout
acupuncture.
that process.
I did. It was hard. It made me go crazy because I wasn't being active and I was trying not to exert myself doing much. And but that's what I did. And I've heard from a lot of women, even those not going through IVF, that little things like that and acupuncture actually really help.
No,
so that's my advice.
You were a trooper. Like, it was amazing all what you did. Like, going through all that acupuncture, massages. Like, it was like a huge regimen that you put yourself through, and I think it's paying off amazingly.
Yeah. So hopefully we're on our
I'm
way.
very thankful for all you do.
You say that all the time. That's so sweet. It's like you've been listening to a book or something.
No, well, I've been listening to a couple, but just
Okay.
From the bottom of my heart.
You're so sweet. Okay, well, we'll get into what you've been listening to because we do get questions. I get a lot of questions from men, actually. Some of y'all that listen to the podcast, like, what can I do to be more supportive of my wife? Because I know you probably think we're crazy, which we are. I mean, with a lot of hormones going on. But anyway, in terms of acupuncture, I'm going to write Felicia back because you asked me who I was seeing. She was actually taking a break for a few months. So I'm glad I got in to see her, but I'll let you know who it was locally. But just look into it. There's acupuncturists that specialize in fertility. And, you know, something else is I kind of started considering the products that I was using. And yes, I was still using Fitish products. And that's kind of something I've been excited to talk about because I am fine with all the topical CBD. But, you know, when it came to other things, you know, just kind of like supplements and hair care and, you know, you have to look into it. You want to make sure you're using good stuff. And that's why, you know, JC and I love Prose. It's a customizable hair care system. We absolutely love it. And I mean, Prose is going to cater your formula to a lot of things that they're going to learn about you when you take, an online quiz, right? So you basically get this virtual consultation. And so if your hair needs are just your hair's dull, it's flat, it's thin, it's not growing, and you want shinier hair, fuller hair, you're going to be able to customize this with Prose. They actually have done over 1 million consultations and they have over 50 billion formula combinations made up with this special algorithm. So they're going to customize it to you, for you. And you're going to be able to tweak your formula. Like, I don't know if you know this, Fran, but when you move, you change addresses, you move cities, the weather, the climate, that's actually really going to affect your hair. No surprise. I mean, your skin too, right? So you're able to kind of tweak your formula there, which is really great. And if you're not 100% positive Prose is the best hair care you've had, they are going to take the products back. No questions asked. Just try it out. I love it. Prose is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Go ahead and take your free in-depth hair quiz and get 15% off your first order today when you go to prose.com/Fitish. That's prose.com/Fitish for 15% off your first order.
I need to try it for sure. I think my hair is thinning out.
Pretty good. I mean, that's going to happen, right? It starts to thin at the top corners a little bit.
Yeah, the top corners are getting more cornery.
It looks thinner when you put too much product in it because then it gets piecey and you can see your scalp through. It's actually better when you do less product and you kind of brush it because then it looks fuller, as I'm fucking with it right now.
Yeah.
Stop pulling away from me. Let me do some beauty stuff to you.
Yes, any day.
Let me like touch and groom.
Babe, you're always allowed to do anything to me.
I appreciate that. So tell us what books you've been reading.
So I've been reading 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker. They're really good.
What have you been reading?
No, I've been reading.
Or you do audiobooks a lot,
so
right?
I've done a lot of audiobooks, and I'm just pulling my phone out because they have. So I have What to Expect.
So he's on Audible, and he listens in the car all the
and
time.
I love it. So I'm reading books. The book you wish your parents had
read.
And then Expectant Father, and some other.
And they have the What to Expect for the guy, right? Because there's sections in the book that I've read that are for the man.
Yeah.
So what's like the standout?
And there's another one that I started to read called How Not to Fucked Up Your Kid.
And you like, okay, so what's been your favorite so far? Which one?
So far, the Expectant Father, just because it's the one that it gives you the overall. Like the other one is more for parenting advice and how to like beat your kid up without leaving marks.
Shut up.
Like that. Use a phone book.
Y'all see why I'm freaked out?
You put it in the.
I mean, we have not even had conversations about punishment yet, and like I'm scared that you're gonna want to physically punish
Shock
the child.
collar said that it's okay.
Shock collar. Okay.
As long as you use it in the low.
Okay. What has been like your standout thing so far that you think you've learned?
Expectant father is just, it tells you everything, like from what you're going through, how to be more supportive of what you're going through, which those are maybe the parts that I forgot, but
no, he's really good, but I know that he's been listening to the book on tape, the book in his car, because every now and then I'll just get a message from him in the middle of the workday, and he'll be like, I hope you know how much I appreciate the sacrifices you are making for our family. And I'm like, did he just hear the author say that?
That's really just because
and I love
sometimes I just like I know I'm being very busy, and I just want to pause my day and make sure that you understand that you're on my mind all the time. And but this book in particular, like it talks from what you're going through to what to expect, even for the finances of the kid, like starting a trust for the kid and stuff like that. That it's.
Does it stress you out?
It does.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, like it's not a Tamagotchi. You cannot put it into your
it's not a Tamagotchi.
And forget about it.
No, it's been a lot. I know. I'm sure there's things that hopefully we'll just be able to compromise and figure it as we go. I mean, last night him and I got into it a little bit because we were talking about he's been really overprotective lately, and it's like, and I'm scared too. I think living in a time where there's this horrible pandemic going on, and then you get pregnant and you're kind of faced with all this uncertainty. Being pregnant is scary enough, I'm sure, right? But to really be worried, he's been so worried about me. So, and I've hardly done anything, by the way. I mean, I haven't gone like out to eat much at all. I don't even go to the grocery store. I order stuff online. I've been really laying low other than being at home and coming here, which is fine because I'm such a homebody. But I've definitely had kind of breaking point moments of, okay, I got to get out and do something. I got to go get my nails done. I got to go work out. I got to go do something. And lately he's been kind of giving me the third degree on it. He'll be like, be careful. Are you sure it's a good idea to go do that? And then I overthink it. I was like, you're going to have to let me take some risks because I'm going to hate every bit of this pregnancy if I can't get out and do anything. I mean, especially if things get worse and we're really over the holiday, we've kind of agreed, it'll be so busy if people are traveling or people are sick, and I'll be so pregnant by then that I'm probably going to be like, I feel like my life is over in a way. And I know that sounds really negative, but I'm starting to feel like I got to do a few more things before I'm going to be like locked down at home.
And I do get it. I have been protective. I don't know if overprotective, but I've been protective.
That's all you're going to give me? Protective?
Yeah.
Not overprotective?
Overprotective, I'll say, but no, it's been protective mainly just because COVID has been so bad. Like last year, every now and then you hear about a friend of a friend that got COVID, and that was the guy that was in every party all the time.
Yeah, but now we're hearing we know so many people that are sick.
Everybody.
I think if you could have your way, I would be like at home, not leaving, right?
No. I think you're doing exactly the best thing you can. And sometimes when you ask for my advice, there's some workout classes that I've even stopped going because they're too crowded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think I've been overprotective, if you may want to say that, for both of us. I have stopped myself also doing stuff that I normally would.
Mm-hmm. I know, which has been hard for you because you're a social butterfly.
Yeah.
Like having drinks, hanging out, partying.
Yeah.
COVID's brought out the side of me that was always there, like that homebody side, that it's almost done the reverse for me. Like now I have anxiety about going out and doing things because I've always been a homebody. I need to get out every now and then. I'm not one of those. I'm not a total recluse, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how homebody am I?
I think you're like a 8 for sure.
It's so interesting, like the objectivity that he has that I don't, because I know that I'm a homebody, but to be an 8 is like a pretty heavy homebody. I think a lot of people probably don't know that about me or really believe it because I think I come across as more social, but I really am. Like I mean, there's times that I don't even leave the house on the weekend.
Yeah, true story.
Okay, something that we probably will agree on because I'm just going to defer to you, and this is a conversation JC and I had last week. We talked about the kind of funny stuff with having a kid. So I think the anxiety I have now is I'm not as worried about being pregnant. I mean, other than getting sick, but the being pregnant and having a baby is like a 2 or 3 for me in terms of like uncertainty and anxiety. It's more about raising a good, thriving child and kind of knowing the stuff, you know, I don't know if I'm a natural mom. And so you start to have anxiety. Like if I'm home for 8 weeks or whatever with a newborn, there's so many things you see now that you're supposed to be doing, you know, like neck strengthening and like developmental stuff, right? That you can do with a newborn that I just don't even know some of this. And so I think like the child rearing part of it is what concerns me more. And we've been pretty proactive reading stuff about like raising a good, like an empathetic boy that is good and comfortable with his emotions. And so JC and I were laughing, talking about when they start to get to that awkward age that they start like exploring their penis and like asking questions about sex and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to just defer to dad and be like, you handle this one. Like I want to be able to like openly as a woman talk to my son about sex too.
And
but I don't know how, at what age. I think it depends on at what age, right? Because if they're like 6 and they start asking these questions, you have to give a different analogy probably than if they're 12, right? And so JC and I were laughing about kind of how we first learned about sex. And we actually got a funny email on here. Lex's, I think, is your name. But it says, hello, I'm an avid listener of the podcast and the radio show. I love y'all. So I'm a female and I was 8 or 9 years old when my dad told me what sex was on the way to a soccer tournament. When he told me exactly what sex was and even used animal references, deer to be exact, it was so disturbing and awful. And I still remember it very clearly. But the main reason I was told so early was because when I was in kindergarten, my brother, who is 2 years younger, and I found a porn tape in my parents' room and watched it. I then decided to bring it to kindergarten with me and showed my classmates. After that, unfortunately, I was introduced early on to sex and the teacher called to tell my parents. So anyway, I wish she had gone into more detail about the story her dad said, but apparently used animals and
I
used
thought you were
deer.
also more detail in the movie that she watched.
Oh, yeah, I know. Was it her parents?
Like
no, they were watching a
home
porn.
movie?
That's an amazing story. But do you remember how you learned about what sex was? Did your parents have a conversation with you?
It was a very vague conversation. So my dad...
Because you had sex very young.
Yes.
How young?
So like 13. But my dad was very conservative.
Why is our producer nodding his head like he's shrugging like it's not a big deal? Like, I don't think I was 17 or 18,
crazy, but
13.
like in this day and age, that doesn't even sound shocking to all these millennials. But I still think that he's very young, and I think if I could have changed things, I would have done them different. But with my
like
parents,
a different position.
yeah. Like of course, like it wasn't all in me.
So you knew what sex was by the time you had sex at 13.
Yes, no, I knew what sex was by the time I was 11, but I don't remember exactly the conversation.
So how are you gonna phrase this to a child when he asks? What have you thought through about what your analogy is going to be?
It's the first time I'm thinking through it, but I think it's just going to be very natural. I think it has to be a very open conversation, very natural, and just answer the exact questions that the kid is asking, not go any farther than.
But you're going to talk body parts.
Yes.
And science, like what happens.
I think so. I'm not going to use like bees and shit. Like
bees, yeah. Are we going to consult?
Of course, I think that's
I need to know
we
your
need to
story.
team out.
Yeah,
like, we need to talk about like, hey, so what's up? What do you tell him? Like, that's good. Like, he has to wait till marriage. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. So
yeah, because I've decided I don't think I'm going to be the parent that refers to the private parts as like really cheesy, corny names. You know, like I mean, I'm not gonna say
your wee wee.
Yeah, or like what do they call it? The no. What do they?
Oh, no.
What do they call it? The
yes.
No. we clearly need some advice from y'all parents out there on the conversation you had and what worked really well. Because it's like, him and I are too vulgar. It's like, we can't be that vulgar, but I do think it should probably be geared towards like that it's reproductive, right? Like you're making babies.
No, of course. And
because that'll scare them off a little bit.
I think it has to go gradually. Like it's going to be a gradual conversation while the kid grows. Like
Like at first it starts
my
mild.
parents were like, my dad was very conservative and my mom was conservative too, but I'm pretty sure my mom would have wanted to give me a different sex talk. Like my mom would have wanted like, keep a condom with you at all times. Yeah. And my dad was like,
even when you're riding your bike down the street at 13.
Yeah. I used the condom.
I can't imagine how little, I mean, that is disturbing to me. You were 13 years old. You had to have been so little. And it was a much older woman. Was it illegal?
Not much older. It was legal for sure. It was like in the verge of legality.
Like she was 17 and a half?
17-ish, yes.
Dude, so she could have gone to jail.
No.
What's the law in Mexico?
Well, the law is pretty much the same. 18 is legal age. But anyhow, so my dad was more like, you should wait until you get married. It's such a sacred thing, blah, 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 and great. And my mom, I'm pretty sure.
And that's unrealistic.
She was like, dude, just protect yourself.
Yeah, I like that mentality.
I'm pretty sure my parents knew that, first of all, we were already in the internet era. Yeah. Like when I was 13, I already had internet. So I was able to explore very slowly because the router was still like a phone router. Like to watch even a pornographic picture, it took like 20 minutes to download. So it was a slow build. But yeah, so it was a lot of internet and a lot of just...
I mean, I was playing like Sonic the Hedgehog at 13. I was not at all.
Well, we didn't have Sonic the Hedgehog in Mexico, so I don't even know what that is.
You didn't have Sonic?
No. Oh, Sonic, yes, the ones for the Sega. Yeah. Yeah, we did have Sonic.
Yeah.
I just find out
that third world. Yeah. Well, we have a lot to learn, and I don't know.
Any advice is always welcome.
Yeah. I'm going to have to revisit Skillshare. This is this amazing service that sponsors the Fitish podcast. But Skillshare is amazing. And, you know, I've used it in the past as a resource for classes. This is actually what I sent you to get you a membership because they have drone flying tutorials on there. And I know that's still a big passion of yours. But
they need teachers or were texting?
This is a virtual online learning community, right? So they're going to offer you memberships with meaning is what they call it, which I love because I think especially during the pandemic, this is when I really started using this service. But, you know, you're going to have affordable access to all sorts of classes because let's use time wisely. And what's better than kind of learning a new skill, right? And so they have thousands and thousands of classes. You're just going to have to go dig around and see what your specialty is. I mean, from craft kind of classes, you know, painting, drawing, you want to get better at something like that. Language, obviously, the drone flying, electronics, video editing. I mean, it's something I've introduced my girls here at Fitish to. When it comes to like marketing or just like photography and Photoshop, I've done a photography class on there before. But, you know, you're not going to get better at...
That's amazing. That's amazing to be able to learn a new skill.
Yeah, and this is great because they give you short-term goals, short lessons, hands-on projects, and you're not going to get better at something if you don't practice. And so Skillshare is just really exciting. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. I recommend you explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/Fitish. You're actually going to get hooked up with a free trial of premium membership when you go to Skillshare.com/Fitish. So I'm going to have to revisit, like I said, and see if they have any
parenting
skills classes. They probably, I mean, knowing how much they have on there now, they have such good content. They probably have, I mean, we're going to have to talk about baby, you know, like a baby class or something. Originally, we joked that we weren't going to do it. We're like, we're almost 40. Like, what do we need?
I think we need for sure to do that. But
I just don't want to get caught in labor, like being in one of those situations where, you know, my whole goal, I respect your birth plan, whatever it is, but my birth plan is like hospital, medicine, all of the things, you know, C-section if needed or preferred. I'm not one of these that's like, I'm going to have an at-home water birth with no pain meds. No, that's not me. If that's you, props to you. Don't judge me. But Fran and I've joked with him, as much as my plan is the hospital, you know, they always say, you know, make plans, watch God laugh, I guess, right? So, because I had a girlfriend who wanted exactly that. She wanted to have a water birth kind of situation with no medicine. And of course, her plan ended up being like a 3-day miserable labor that ended in a C-section. Everyone's healthy and great, but that wasn't her plan. And now my fear is that my plan's going to be the opposite. Like, I want hospital, plan it, book it, like get me in on a set date, and then I'm gonna go into labor like in the middle of the night or in the car, and you're gonna have to deliver this baby. So we need to learn like what to do if that happens.
Just buy the cord.
Stop. Gross.
Make tacos after.
But you're so nasty, Fran.
It is very interesting. I hope Skillshare can have something like that. But for sure, like, I don't know if I tell you, but I've been trying to improve my chess game. And I hired a grandmaster to give me chess lessons. This is what Fran's
doing to become a better father. He hired a 20-year-old grandmaster who is what? That's someone that's certified because they've won.
20 years old.
Yeah.
This kid is like ranked in the top 100 of the world chess players. And
so you paid him for a private lesson?
I paid him for a private lesson, but I pretty much paid him to tell me that I was old as fuck. And how
this is what this kid said, that
immensely hard
he can never be good because he's too old.
He never said that I wasn't about to be able to be better. He just said that my brain is pretty much smooshed, and he doesn't even know the amount of drugs and alcohol I've done.
Smooshed?
So
I think people can tell.
Yeah, but not to the dead, like, because I use Fitish skincare, so it helps me from faking it. So he was just pretty much telling, like, it's like, I see your game, you're good, you're going the right way, you need to do this, and that, but oh boy, like, he was like, I was like, fuck you. Like,
nothing like a 20-year-old chess master.
He keeps telling me about his mentor. His mentor was, he started playing he's like, so yeah, my mentor started playing very late in life. And I thought I was like, he's going to say something around 65.
Yeah.
It's like, how late? Like, he was 25. It's like, fuck you, double. Like,
so there's hope for you though, because you could teach our son to play chess.
Yeah, early age. And
then if he likes it, then he turns into like a chess nerd.
Yeah.
Is there like a good career for chess nerds?
Well, I would never want my kid to be a chess nerd. But
just the ability to play chess, probably just for the brain and the
above
kind of
2,000 points, you get paid really well.
I'm like,
but that's not my goal, and I don't think that's ever gonna happen based on what my friend Ukrainian American told me.
At least he was honest.
Oh, he was pretty
Nothing
honest.
like that Eastern European honesty, right? Like, but your brain is mush.
He was pretty honest, and I think he just wanted to make sure that I didn't call my bank and ask for my money back, like just try to get a refund.
So did you play a game with him?
No, we never played a game like that would be, but he went through all of my games and gave me pointers. So
he could see all your games.
He can see all my games.
And all your moves.
Yeah, so he was able to give me pointers like, you suck, but...
He plays every night. I look over at him like, what's he doing, cheating on me? And he's like, in the middle of the night, he's playing chess on his phone.
But yeah,
I like it. I like that you're doing brain stimulating activities.
My skill improvement story. But yeah, well, we gotta keep going. I'm a masochist, so I'm gonna see this kid maybe tomorrow.
Okay, speaking of kids, I have another email to get to. This is from, could you say this name?
Cedillo.
Gerardo
Cedillo.
We're in the reverse, right? This says, what do y'all recommend to buy for a 15-year-old son that has started getting acne? Not too bad, but he is getting it. I know I've seen a spray or something like that. So this is someone asking about Fitish products. But yeah, going back to school, we've been getting a lot of questions about Fitish products that work well. And and so we have a toned down spray that's $29, which I actually originally was the first product I made for Fitish. And I did it selfishly to treat my own rosacea and redness. I got super red when I worked out, like I was allergic to it. And I don't think I would never say that my products like cure anything, but it's been kind of amazing the unintentional results we've seen, because I didn't make that product for acne necessarily, but what we've seen over time is the CBD so powerfully anti-inflammatory that we've had some really great results, even from teenagers, young kids. It's totally safe to use. Especially a spray, because it's kind of easy for like a teenage boy to put on, and we have a face wash, which is great too if you're really oily and have acne. So, no promises with stuff, because I hate getting people's hopes up for things. I mean, we've had some really impressive results, but I hate, everyone's different. It kind of depends on, sometimes acne is based off internal stuff like your diet. You could be allergic to something you're eating. So this will help treat it and maybe tone it down a little bit, but hey, it's worth a shot.
The reviews that you've gotten out of people with bad acne are mind-blowing.
Yeah, we've had some great results with acne, eczema, psoriasis. But when I was asking a dermatologist, now we have this dermatologist we touch base with all the time for recommendations and to kind of give us some, more credible theories behind CBD, since there's not a whole lot of research still that's been done yet and case studies. But they say that it's such a powerful anti-inflammatory. That's really what it is, right? And so most of the skin conditions that it's working on are inflammation issues, right? So, I mean, that's why I think you see CBD when people are taking CBD oil for pain or anxiety. That's inflammation in different parts in your body. Same thing with acne. It's obviously your pores are really inflamed from some stuff. So it's really exciting. It's really cool. It's still the best part of the business that we do. I mean, there's days that I have that I'm like, this shit is so hard. Or just when we're going through financials or just things trying to run a business, there's so many elements of it that are really difficult. But then every now and then, once a week, it probably happens, we just get this like stunning before and after kind of testimonial, which by the way is the best thing you can do for us in the business, is send those along, or just tell people what worked for you. That's just really the best thing anyone can do. But it's so cool. We've gotten some really great ones lately as well. So I know I would love at some point for it to just be widely accepted, right, that CBD treats, because I think it will be. I think we're going to see CBD in a lot of stuff going forward, and it's not even going to be advertised as such. It's just going to be like another ingredient, like an aloe or something, which we use in our products. But aloe, I mean, why does aloe work so well on a sunburn? Well, it's the same kind of thing, right? Just even more powerful than that. Aloe's a plant, this is a plant, and it's treating it just in kind of a similar fashion. So yeah, really great question. But I'll tell you what, I've been ordering a lot of stuff online lately, and it's really interesting from my perspective, because we know how important customer service, kind of shipping. I mean, y'all have high expectations. We've been trained, especially because of Amazon and this kind of 2-day shipping for free, that you're accustomed to. And I've been so fascinated because I order other beauty products. I love to try stuff that's out there. I think that's the right way to be. I'm not ever going to sit here and say Fitish is the only thing I use and it's, there's nothing else out there, because I like trying all sorts of stuff. And I've been ordering stuff lately, and I was just telling one of my girls in the front that I ordered some makeup brand, like brow stuff, last week. I just got an email today that it shipped, and it's not supposed to arrive until like next Monday. And I'm thinking that's like a 12, 13 day situation, which is crazy because we usually get a lot of compliments on our shipping situation. I mean, we get so many reviews that are like, oh my God, I just ordered it and it already shipped today. And then they get it, in probably 3-4 days max or less, depending on where you live, because we're shipping out of Texas. So the farther out of Texas you live, it's going to take a minute. But I attribute all of that to a great team and us using ShipStation. ShipStation is a sponsor of the Fitish podcast, but I've actually been using ShipStation as a service since before they sponsored, and I absolutely love it. And why do you have a need for it? Well, just because if you want to start a small business, it doesn't have to be anything on the scale of what I'm doing now. I mean, I started simply selling sweatshirts, right, to kind of get the branding out there. And ShipStation's going to integrate with your Etsy store or your Amazon. Maybe you're really good with Amazon. And a lot of people will buy stuff and sell it on Amazon. And that's their whole business model. And it works amazing. But ShipStation is just so seamless. It's going to integrate with all of the shipping providers. So if you've been thinking, you know what, I have this hobby, I'm good at it, I want to monetize it, have a little Shopify store. That's what I still use. I use a Shopify platform or an Etsy store. I love ordering stuff on Etsy. I've been ordering baby stuff, and I can always tell when someone's using ShipStation because their shipping situation's just amazing. They make it so easy for you. You're going to get a lot of discounts that you wouldn't get otherwise. And like I said, they're going to work with all the major carriers, UPS, FedEx, USPS. The holidays are coming. This is a really good time to sell stuff online, especially if we go back into a stay-at-home situation. So why don't you check it out? Use my offer code Fitish, get a 60-day free trial, 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. When you go to shipstation.com, you're going to click on the microphone at the top of the page and type in Fitish, shipstation.com, and enter the offer code Fitish. Make ship happen. Still the best tagline. Make ship happen.
I like it. Really creative.
I like it. Yeah, really, really great. What's on your agenda today, Franny?
So I have meetings and appointments all the rest of the day.
Yeah, if you're looking for a home or a condo, Franny's in that business. So no matter where you live, give them some business, support our baby.
We need to support this lifestyle, now that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yes, any real estate need, we have an amazing team for sure.
Well, info@fitish.com. I'll connect you. We're always taking your questions there. I'm dressed today. We're going to film. I actually hired someone to do video.
Nice.
For the business. So I don't think y'all have gotten a chance to meet her yet, but I just decided, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to hire someone full time.
At least if our kid ever find our sex tape, it's going to be very well produced.
Yeah. No. We don't have one as far as I know.
Not that you know exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
There hasn't been a whole lot of activity lately to film. Yeah.
But now we know that we have a production people and a videographer. We can do it really professional, babe.
I can't wait. That's one thing that's never going to happen, right? At least is with me being aware of it. I think I'm past my sex tape prime. Really? Does that disappoint you?
Babe.
You can go make one with someone.
That's a trap. I would never want to do that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Why would you want one?
Just to have it, look at it, like you're having a horrible day. I was like, improvement. Sometimes like you see like...
Oh, like you want to watch tape?
Yes, yeah. Like when you're like playing soccer, I know that you correlate with that. And like you're playing soccer, you see the video.
Is this him trying to convince me to make a tape? Right now? Why would you come at me right now?
Babe, just
4 months pregnant.
Like kids, so like it's just everything got in line for that.
I feel like nothing ever good has come from people making a sex tape. This is like our kids will find this.
Yeah, but they will find a really high quality one.
With music.
Yeah.
No, that'd be traumatizing to a child. I would have died if I saw my parents. Like, no. And let's be honest, like, it's really hard to get a flattering angle during sex. Like, there are so many bad angles happening.
You leave all that in post. They can all fix it in post-production.
Look,
baby.
You're a really good salesman, but this is going to take a lot more selling for me. What's in it for me?
No worries. Babe, an amazing tape.
Are you going to film the birth?
No. I don't think I'm going to film the birth. Like I could and I would.
Like, if I have a cesarean, are you going to stand on this side of the sheet or at my head?
I would like to, but I don't want to be like...
You're going to watch them take all my organs out?
Yes. Might help.
Might help what?
No,
You're going to help them?
Might help. Like, how are you leaving a fucking testing out?
Oh my god. Oh, what, an intestine?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can take some of it.
No, but I'll for sure be on the other side, like watching, but I would not want to be filming because I'd be missing out.
Yeah. You can take a couple pictures. I mean, I've had one of my best girlfriends sent me a photo of her daughter being born, and she had a C-section both times. And I think most of us, as we get older, know exactly what that entails, but the photo of it is so graphic. I mean, it's a major surgery, and they are removing like everything down there to then put it back in like it's some game of operation, and taking that baby out. But I mean, it is. She's just coming out of a slit in the stomach, and like this photo is so bloody and so graphic that it's like been stuck in my mind ever since I've seen it. You know, I almost wish I didn't know everything that took place.
Babe, everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. But again, that's why I want to be in the hospital and all like numbed up. Like, put me to sleep.
Babe, I'm pretty sure everything's gonna come out the way that it should.
He's gonna be big.
It's already big.
Yeah, he's already big. Our baby's like 5 days older than what he actually is. So they say that if the baby at any point is like 7 days older than their actual like estimated age, that they actually move the due date up a week. But it has to get to 7 days because that means they've grown that quickly.
Yeah. Last week it was the size of a 35 millimeter film.
Your analogies are very strange because the app I look at gives stuff that's actually easier to understand, like lemons.
Oh, they know my age. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure like that
Like a roll of
20-year-old. Like,
film. Or what did you tell me last time? It was the size of like some cartoon character. I was like, what are you looking at? Is this what they do for the dads? And then for the, yeah.
Like, so yeah, because if you tell a millennial, like, is the size of a 35 millimeter film, like a 5 millimeter what?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Well, it's
they've
a roll
never
of
seen a
film, but like mine always says like it's a fig, it's a lemon, it's a grapefruit. Like it equates it to like an actual fruit that most people know the size of. But your app is giving you the weirdest references.
So I actually beg to differ because an apple could be of many sizes. A 35 millimeter film only comes in one size. So it's very accurate.
Okay. Hey, you're doing everything great, babe. I love you. I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat?
Yeah, let's go eat.
All right. If you have any questions for Franny or I'm sure he's going to jump back on the podcast at some point again. Hopefully JC will be back with us next week. But again, email any of your questions to info@fitish.com. Whatever you want to talk about, I'll either email you back from there, or if it's funny or interesting, we'll probably read it on the show. All right. That's all. See you next week. Thanks, Franny.
Great being here, as always.